folks, this is a short video to show you how to set up a meeting in Zoom and then how to get that information to your students within the Outlook and Microsoft Teams calendar. Also, another big bonus, how do you make an email list so that you don't have to keep typing in each of their names each time you want to set up a meeting with that particular group. So the first thing you want to do is to go to zoom.us. And then if you don't already have an account, create one. And you can just log in. If you already have a Google account, you can sign in with that. That's what I'm going to do, sign in with Google. And then you choose which Google account you want to sign in with. And then you just have to go to, there's upcoming meetings, previous meetings, etc. You just want to go to meetings on the left and then schedule a new meeting. And so what I've been doing is saying the class name, so A&M 105A. And then this latest one, I put critique, flow, and lecture, the take. And then, you know, like, hi folks, this will be our critique and lecture for next week. And then you want to pick the time. So let's just pretend we're going to go to April 1st at 12:30. And I'm going to make it 2 hours long just because it took about an hour and a half the last time, just to be safe. And then really the only thing I click down below is I want to make sure that the audio is coming in when I say the settings are both. And then enable join before host. I leave this shut off because I don't want people being able to go into the meeting before me. You can also choose if you want to mute the participants upon entry. I leave this off. I do enable a waiting room though, so if they do try to get in before me, there's a waiting room. And then record the meeting automatically because I always want to save my lectures. And personally, I want to save them to the local computer. And what I really like about Zoom is it just gives you a few simple files. The QuickTime file, the video file, the whole thing, just the audio, and then it even gives you a file, a text file of all of the chats that happened during the meeting. So then you want to hit save, and then just go to copy the invitation, or you can just copy and paste this URL if you want to make something custom. But I just hit copy the invitation, and then copy meeting invite. It will copy all of this text, which I don't think for a student you need. It could get confusing. And then I go to calendar, and I do it in the Outlook calendar because that way I can access my groups over here. It doesn't work in meetings, but it works in Outlook for some reason. So then I'm going to go to April 1st, click, click new event, and we want it to be April 1st. Same time that I set up in Zoom, 12:30 to 2. And then same thing. So, or I can paste actually the description down below first. I get rid of all this stuff because I think it's just going to confuse them. And I leave, and I even take off this. So it just has, oh, and it has my old name. So Galasso is inviting you to a scheduled Zoom meeting. Here's the topic. And actually, I'm going to copy and paste this topic up here into the title. And here's the meeting web link. I do hit space there so that it makes it clickable. And then they've got the meeting ID as well. So then invite attendees. What I've been finding is it was so time consuming to type in each individual student's name each time. So I made an email list, which I'll show you how to do after this. So A&M, now I can just type in A&M 105A, and I click on it, and it puts my whole class in there. But if I try to hit send now, it says edit the email addresses and try sending again. And I thought, oh no, it's not working. But all you have to do is hit this plus sign, which is kind of weird because then it just shows you all the attendees. And then I hit send, and it's going to go to them. But I'm not going to hit send because I don't want them to get a second meeting invite. But once I hit send, I can go over to Teams, And this calendar in Teams is synced with that calendar. So if I go to next week, I can now see, here's my critique, and they are all going to get an invitation to this automatically, unlike they do with Virtual Classroom, that will show up in their email inbox. And they can access it or look at it either in Teams or in Outlook Calendar. And the next piece of it was, how do I make that distribution list? Because you can't make one that I know of within Teams. But if you go back to Outlook Calendar and go down to people, okay, I was then able to go new contact list, not group, but list. And then I gave it a title, so like A&M 105, and we'll call it C. That doesn't exist. Intro to animation. And I'm going to populate this with some of the faculty just for fun. Val. We'll put Jeff in there. And how about Joe, since he was asking about the groups too. And I'll just pretend that's a class. And then I can say like email list for my non-existent class A&M 105C. And once I hit create, I can now, when I go back to the calendar and I make a new, and you could do this for anybody. You could do this for faculty too. If there's people that you want to set up meetings with regularly, you can go into here and then I can just type in A&M 105C. Oop. There they are. And I can set up a meeting without having to type each name in each time. So there you go. There's how you set up the meeting in Zoom and then bring it on over to Microsoft Teams.